JBNN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, Floyd Green makes call for secondary school teachers to present police record. A government lawmaker strongly suggested that the requirement for early childhood educators to produce a police record before obtaining employment be expanded to include teachers at the secondary level. Minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister, Floyd Green, on Thursday told colleague legislators on a joint select committee reviewing the Jamaica Teaching Council Act 2022 that persons seeking employment in other sectors are required to police a police record. If you're going to join the police force, you have to get a police record. If you're going on the farm work program, you have to get a police record. We have to start afresh with this thing, Green contended. A former state minister in the Ministry of Education, Green suggested that the cost to obtain a police record should not be a factor because educators in the early childhood sector were compensated at a lower pay scale but are required to satisfy the policy requirement. He insisted that the concept of the low level of remuneration for early childhood educators is not a consideration because, in order to interact with the children, they have to show that they do not have a criminal record. Green recommended that teachers who are already in the system not be forced to produce a police record when the proposed Jamaica Teaching Council Act takes effect. However, he said that it should be a requirement for new teachers entering the profession. Committee Chairperson Favour Williams agreed with Green's proposal, while Senator Lambert Brown indicated that he would not take a position on that proposal at this time. St. Catherine South East Member of Parliament Robert Miller said he was in full agreement with the suggestion for teachers entering the profession to furnish a police record. If someone is going to teach our children, we want to ensure that they are safe in the hands of that person's care, and we want to ensure that a police record is present when that person is entering, Miller said. The Teachers Colleges of Jamaica TCJ, which made a submission to the committee earlier this year, urged lawmakers to create a level playing field for criminal background checks to be done on all persons employed at any level of the educational system. This will give all members of our society the assurance that persons will not be employed at any level of the educational system whose antecedents suggest a propensity to do harm to others, students, fellow teachers, staff, parents, guardians, or other visitors to our schools, the group stated. The TCJ made the observation that the Early Childhood Commission was criticized in the Patterson Report for having altered the validity of police records to suit the 5-year license period of teaching license. Our recommendation is that a current valid police report be provided in support of each application for registration, licensing, and authorization, the group submitted. Man killed in Rocky Point. The Clarendon police are investigating the murder of a fisherman who was gunned down at the fishing village in Rocky Point on Thursday night. He has been identified as 22-year-old Jerome Ricketts, also known as Slow Brain, of Regent Street in Rocky Point. It is reported that about 8:30 p.m., Ricketts was at a bar in the area when armed men entered an open gunfire, hitting him in the upper body. The attackers then escaped on foot in the area. The police were summoned, and on their arrival, Ricketts was seen suffering from gunshot wounds. He was taken to the Lioneltown Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. According to a source, the police are trying to nab a suspect who recently returned from prison. Sources say Ricketts' murder is suspected to be a reprisal for his alleged involvement in the murder of the suspect's brother. The police say they have raised their defense level, citing the possibility of reprisals and confrontations in Rocky Point and surrounding communities. A total of 69 people have been murdered in Clarendon since the start of the year. The figure shows 11 fewer homicides when compared to 80 murders for the corresponding period last year. Trelawney man killed in car crash. A Trelawney man lost his life in a motor vehicle accident along the Spring Hill Main Road in Duncans in the parish on Thursday night. He is 24-year-old Roger Wilson of Hague in Trelawney. The Trelawney police say about 9:15 p.m. Wilson and an unidentified male passenger were traveling in a black Toyota Mark X motor car along the Spring Hill Main Road towards Falmouth. Wilson, who was the driver, lost control of the vehicle and collided with a motor truck. Wilson and the passenger sustained severe injuries and were rushed to the Falmouth Hospital, where Wilson was pronounced dead and the other man admitted. St. Catherine man involved in ear-biting incident granted bail. A St. Catherine man who allegedly bit off the ear of another man was granted $500,000 bail when he appeared in court on Friday. 34-year-old laborer Duane Dixon of Marley Acres, Old Harbour, is before the St. Catherine Parish Court on a charge of unlawful wounding. Attorney-at-law Oliver Clough told the court that the incident was a physical confrontation in which Dixon also received a bite to the chest. Bail was granted on condition that Dixon surrenders his travel documents, relocates to Clarendon, and reports twice weekly to the Maypen police station. The matter will again be mentioned on January 10, 2023. Dixon's court appearance arose from an incident in Marley Acres on September 22, when he allegedly bit off the left ear of the complainant and spat it on the ground. The complainant was taken to seek medical attention, but attempts to reattach the ear proved futile. Dixon was arrested and charged following an investigation by the Old Harbour police. Family of mentally ill man appeals for help to find him. The family of a missing man, George Johnson, is appealing to anyone with information that could help with his safe return home to share it with the Spanish Town police. The 62-year-old man, who is mentally challenged, went missing on October 1 from Angels Grove in St. Catherine. His sister, Myrtle Johnson, said that he was reported last seen walking on the Spanish Town leg of Highway 2000. He was wearing a grey shirt, black pants and grey slippers. See, as he has a mental issue, we're just concerned about him. He's not used to being out there. I'm just hoping that somebody has seen him, she said. Police say they are still investigating the case. Johnson Smith says blaming Jamaicans for TCI's escalating crime is regrettable. Minister of Foreign Affairs Kamina Johnson Smith has said it is regrettable and unhelpful that officials in the Turks and Caicos Islands, TCI, have singled out Jamaicans in relation to an upsurge in gang activity there. In a media release Friday afternoon, Johnson Smith said the Jamaican government has noted with concern recent developments in Turks and Caicos. It is truly regrettable that against information indicating that various nationalities have been and are involved in previous criminal activity and the recent upsurge, Jamaicans were singled out for blame, she stated. Such statements are distinctly unhelpful, she added. She noted that Jamaica and the TCI have been engaged at various levels and that Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Premier Charles Missick have held discussions on the ongoing situation, including on the multinational nature of gang-fueled violence, which also affects Jamaica. She further explained that Jamaica and other CARICOM members were asked to provide assistance and are examining ways in which to do so. She said she wanted to assure Jamaicans in the Turks and Caicos Islands of our concern and interest in the situation and urged them to remain calm while they continue to exercise their usual responsible citizenship in the country. Johnson Smith also said her ministry has communicated their concerns to the TCI government and has been assured of their recognition of the value of Jamaica's many law-abiding citizens who contribute positively to their society. In sports news, KC, Georges and St. Catherine scored big money cup wins. Defending champions Kingston College made it 6 wins from as many matches with a dominant display on Friday, trashing Arden 9-love in Group A action in the Issa Manning Cup. Also from Group A, St. George's College also had a crushing 9-love win over Meadowbrook. There was a 4-goal contest between Calabar and Waterford High, who played out to a 2-2 draw. Over in Group B, St. Catherine were yet to concede a goal this season, thumped St. Mary's College 10-love. 3 more schools advanced in D Cup. 3 more schools, Yorkesa High, Central High and McGrath High, confirmed their places in the second round of the Issa Digicel Da Costa Cup football competition Friday, bringing to 6 the number of schools confirmed so far. They joined Manning School, St. Elizabeth Technical and Dintil Technical, who had booked their spots earlier. Yorkesa booked their spot without kicking a ball after Brownstown High and Orocabessa High drew 1-1, ensuring that Yorkesa cannot finish any lower than second with their 16 points. Orocabessa are in second with 10 points, 2 more than Brownstown, and Ocherias are on 6 points. Central High edged Old Harbour High 3-2 and improved to 15 points at the top of the tables in Zone M. Meanwhile, Glenmore High beat Tatius Golding 7-love, their 4th straight win, and are on the verge of progression as well. McGrath High joined Dintil Technical from Zone K after they beat Enid Bennett High 3-love to go to 21 points, and Charlemont were held 1-1 by Uton High. Dintil wrapped up zone honours with a 1-love win over Guysill, their 9th straight win. Meanwhile, Jamalik Foster scored a first-half hat-trick as Mannings beat Belmont Academy 4-love in Zone D. Bellear High are the leaders in Zone F after beating Belfield High 2-1, and are on 18 points, 2 more than Manchester High, both from 7 games. Jamal Lovelace and Alex Forbes scoring 1 goal each. The Carteret are a point behind Manchester after a 4-1 win over Mayday High, with Raheem Russell scoring twice and Jaheim Johnson and Douglas Whiteley getting 1 each for the winners. On to cricket news. Windies lose T20 series to Australia. Despite a marginally improved batting performance, the West Indies went down by 31 runs to Australia in the second T20 International in Brisbane on Friday morning to lose the 2-match series 2-love. The Australians first posted 178 for 7. David Warner top scored with 75, while Tim David made 42. Alzari Joseph bagged 3 for 21, while Obed McCoy took 2 for 32. The West Indies were then restricted to 147 for 8 in their chase. Johnson Charles made 29 and Akeem Hussain 25, as Mitchell Starc took a career best 4 for 20. Jamaica's Brandon King also contributed 23. The Caribbean side will now turn their attention to warm-up matches against the UAE and Netherlands. After that, they'll square off with Zimbabwe, Ireland and Scotland in the group stage or qualifying portion of the ICC T20 World Cup, where they'll look to progress to the Super 12 stage. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.